So by step one, the only thing that I did was I just had some reference curves for the grid, and I also had some reference points just as a reference on where to place the control point of the curve. So like just to show me where to click and place a control point. The idea here is also I'm gonna move step by step, but you don't need to move. You can model in, let's say, you can do everything in one position only, okay? You don't need to move step by step like I'm going to do. Just let me move this a little closer and delete this. So let's go for, I don't need this step. I don't need this text. So the next step is I need to create step 2. I need to create the wavy curve here. So I'm gonna stay on perspective. I'm gonna go for the curve command. Make sure you are on degree 3. And now also pay attention to the what kind of snaps do you have. So I have points, right? So I need the snap point. I also see that my point also it's the same as a mid snap. So yeah, I don't need perpendicular. So basically end, point, and mid. Make sure you don't have near on. So let's go for end. And I just snap on those points. And this way I create this curve very easily. Let's go for next step. Step 3 is I need to trim 2 sections of the curve. So the first section here and the last one. So let's go for trim. My cutting objects are those 2 vertical lines. Hit enter. Trim one part, trim the other part. So yeah, this is the curve that I have now. And now for step 4, I don't need the grid anymore. So I'm going to select only my curve and my rectangle, and I'm going to move. But if you stay here only, you can select you can select everything, and then you can deselect your curve. If you want to, you can hide. So type hide, and everything is hidden. So you can stay in one place. But I'm moving to the next step so you can see. And this I will delete. All right, so step 4. Step 4, I need to create a few more curves. So I need a second curve, and there is a middle curve. So I'm going to copy curves, and I'm going to flip the central curve. So the second curve it's pretty much 1 meter away. So remember on how to use, so we are going to copy in 2 ways here. So we are going to copy the first one with the Gumball. And remember on how to copy with the Gumball, you need Alt pressed on your keyboard. So I'm going to press Alt, and I'm going to click on the move axis here. So I'm just going to click and type 1, which is 1 meter. And it's going to copy the curve 1 meter away from the original one. And now, since I don't know the distance between this curve and this one here in the middle, I'm not going to copy. So I'm going to use the snap. So this is a moment that I'm going to use the copy command. So copy, because now I can snap here at the end, which is aligned with the curve, and I snap in the middle, which is where I want to place this curve. So this is when I use the command copy. So I have the 3 curves now. but they are still identical. What we need to do is we need to make the curvature the opposite, right? What I can do is I can just rotate this 180 degrees. So I get the X axis, the red one, to rotate in this direction, so around itself. I'm gonna click on the red arc and type 180 degrees. All right, so I already have my third curve. And now I'm going to move to step 5. So step 5, I'm going to show you a new tool here in Rhino, which is called Record History. So it's saying keep record history on and mirror the peripheral curves along the central axis of the rectangle. So there is a button here in the bottom called Record History, just after C-plane, which is off. So record history so I'm going to select both of my curves. So the first and the second one. I'm going to switch on record history. So now it's bluish color, a light blue. That means the button is on. And I'm going for the command mirror. So mirror command, very straightforward. I just click on the axis, which is the midpoint here. And I just draw the axis. It's going to mirror to the other side. And now if you look to my record history button, now it's off. So it went automatically off. So every time I switch on, I do something in my file, I copy or mirror or anything, I modify. After I do it, it goes off automatically. So it will only work for that specific given task or modification that I did. I can also right click and choose always record history, but I don't like this option because everything that I do will be on. But what's history? Let me show you a little bit about history. We have a bit of time. So I use history here now, right? I made a mirror, like a copy of of the two curves here. If I modify my curve, the other one will be also modified, you see. So this one is called children of this curve. It's a child. So it's the update children is on. So every time I modify the parent, the other ones will be also modified. It's sort of a component in SketchUp, but it's still not a component. It's one step behind of a component. The only similarity is that whatever modification you do here, it will also work to the other geometry. The bad side of history is I cannot move. So if I move the parent, of course, the children will also be moved. So whatever I do with the parent, so you see if I move around, if I change the control point, if I rotate, so every modification will also affect the children. The downside of this, let me undo. The downside is if I move the children, I get a warning saying dragging broke history of one object. The thing is, I cannot move my children. Let me see if I move everything. Yeah, I cannot move anything, you see? That's why I always get stuck in this step by step. So now I need to finalize my exercise here because I cannot move anymore. That's the downside of history. You cannot move, which is not a big downside because let's say you are designing a building, let's say the floor plans, you're not going to move your building around the city, right? It's going to stay in the same place. So moving, I mean, depending of what you are modeling, it might not be a huge issue.